Hello, and welcome to Mass Integrations web series. I am your host, Alicia, and today you are attending our fourth week of our Healthy Minds youth series. Today we're going to talk about positivity, how to process those thoughts and feelings, and also what is a positive mindset. I can't wait to dive in deeper and to explore more, so stay tuned as we go through week 4 Healthy Mind youth series. So before we get started, I invite you to grab a notebook and a piece of paper along with a pencil or pen so that you can write down some of the answers to the questions that I'll ask. Positivity means that you look for the good, right? And negativity means that you're always looking for the bad things in life. Well, let's talk about how those show up in our lives. Look at some examples. When we see on the left-hand side under negative, we see traits that are sad, feel stuck, angry. These are emotions. Those emotions can impact our mind. But when you look on the right-hand side as positive, what we see here are possibilities, opportunity to feel better. You want to succeed, and you're open to other ideas. So you're open to learn, you're open to make mistakes, and you're open to grow. Remember this: you cannot have a positive life and a negative mind. Take a moment and just think about that. Before we move on to the next slide, I would like for you to again pull out that pencil and paper, the notebook, whatever it is that you want to take notes with, and we're going to journal. We're going to write out these thoughts and how this makes us feel. So here we have in this photo a little girl who is surrounded by negative thoughts. So as I read through each of these thoughts, I would like for you to write down how this makes you feel after hearing and reading these comments, okay? Starting with the blue one at the top. Take your time. You do not have to share this with anyone. This is just for you. But I want you to write down how this makes you feel. If you want to draw out an emoji, you can draw out an emoji. However you want to express your mood, just do it, okay? All right. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Okay. Why can't you do anything right? You're stupid. You have an attitude. Stop acting like a baby. Ooh, your hair is so nappy. You are a bad, bad child. Take a moment again to write down how this makes you feel after hearing or reading these comments. Sometimes these type of comments can train our brains to think negatively. And it's okay if you've even said this to yourself. It's okay to admit something. All right, I'll give you a couple more seconds to write down your feelings and your thoughts, again, about how you felt about these comments. And right now, what we're doing is processing our feelings. Last week, you were encouraged to think about your strengths in your workbooks. Do you remember what they are? If you have your workbook, or if you didn't get a chance to catch us last week during this time, you can go to massintegration.org to download the workbook, to catch up, and to also watch the previous weeks. Well, I want to take you back to last week because I want to remind yourself about how good you are about those qualities, those strengths that you wrote down. And then I encourage you So then talk to your parents or a trusted adult or individual that you love or friend about these strengths. Doing this will help you process your thoughts and your feelings. This practice will also strengthen your brain so that you can turn your negative mindset into a positive mindset. Okay, we ready for the next one? So in your journal or on your piece of paper, I want you to write this sentence, and then I want you to complete it. My negative thought, or excuse me, my negative or unhelpful thought. Go ahead and write down your response. Again, this is private. This is only to you. You do not have to share this with anyone right now. You can keep this to yourself. So write that down. My negative or unhelpful thought. Okay? Does everyone have their thought? I have my thought. And right now, I'll share my thought. You don't have to share yours. Again, this is just for you, but I will share mine just to give you guys some encouragement and some motivation. I would like to go back to school to get my master's degree. Well, I am not young. I'm 32 years old, and sometimes as an adult, I forget that I can learn new things. And so my negative thought or unhelpful thought is that I am too old to learn something new. Now, the next one I want you to process. This is a part of the process. Process what that statement is. So in the last one, you wrote down what that was. For me, mine was, I am too old to learn something new. And now I want you to write this down. Is this thought true? You're just going to answer that question. Yes or no? For the next one is, this thought makes me feel. What does this thought make you feel? Go ahead and write that down. I have, for me, some emojis to express how that makes me feel in the right-hand corner here. For me, I'm a little all over the place, but I'm excited and nervous. That's a feeling. And I'm scared. Yeah. How do you feel? Write down your response. And if you don't have time to write down your response, that is okay. Just write down the sentence. And you can fill this in later. My example was going back to school as an adult. I feel scared, excited, intimidated, but this thought also makes me want to take action. What would I tell my best friend if they had this thought? Write this down. Write down your response to that question there. If you're unable to write down your thoughts right now, just write down the sentence. Still begin to process what that looks like, how it feels, what you want to do about it, and how you want to go about it. Here's a tip: positive self-talk. What is that? Thinking and saying positive and encouraging things to yourself. This is not to anybody else. This is just for you. Here I have in this right-hand corner here, note to self, do not quit. This is exactly what I mean when I talk about me being an adult, being scared trying to go back to school. Just do not quit. It's okay. If your example, it could be anything. Dance, math, passing a test, going up to a new friend, meeting new people. Do not quit. Keep practicing. Here are some benefits to that. Builds confidence, makes you feel happiness. You're inspired, so you have inspiration to be around other people and other ideas. You feel motivated, so you want to do something. You want to get up, you want to change your situation from negative to positive. Your belief in that is so real. Again, you're changing that mindset from negative to positive. And then you're talking out loud about it. You're reinforcing that by giving those words back to yourself. Let's review some examples that you can tell yourself to help increase that positive self-talk practice. My brain is amazing. It can do anything. And the more I practice, the easier it gets and the stronger my brain becomes. They go hand in hand. Number 3, when I learn from my mistakes, my brain makes more connections. We talked about neurons last week. We talked about this in growth mindset. Number 4, my brain has the power to solve problems and make things better. Absolutely. Your brain is king. Your brain is the headmaster. It controls everything. You have the power to change. So staying positive. How do we do that? Let's reinforce it. Here are some things here that I want to talk about. I'm just going to read them off. Again, you're doing great. Honor your feelings. Yes. When you are feeling frustrated, angry, stressed, excited, happy, these are feelings. Honor those. What do I mean? Acknowledge them, sit in them, lean in them, try to get to know them. This is called processing your feelings. We just went through what we call prompts. These were things we wrote down for the journal to answer questions about ourselves, but to also be able to look back and process. Talk to a trusted parent or friend. It is important to communicate and to share these experiences. You do not have to. This is your choice. But then when you get comfortable and you start building that confidence and you want to share this, it does help. I want to remind you to practice positive self-talk. And then after you do that, I want you to focus on a plan or a solution. So these here are ways that you can stay positive. Now I want to say thank you so much. You all did amazing. Probably was a lot, so I want you to stop what you're doing. Take a breath. Inhale. Hold. Now release. Exhale. You did great. Visit massintegration.org to download the 5-day positivity workbook and join the challenge. There will be more examples and prompts in our workbook for this week. You guys did amazing. I can't wait to see you all next week for friendship. Have a great weekend. Bye.